But almost 3 weeks on from the terror attack on Israel, which saw the loss of 1,400 lives and over 200 hostages taken, the full scale of anti-Semitic sentiment within British mosques is coming to light. GB News' investigative reporter Charlie Peters, who reported on the events in the Middle East live from Israel over the last couple of weeks, joins us in the studio with a brand new expose. Charlie, thank you for joining us. What have you discovered?
Well, the conflict is hotting up tonight. There's looking like there's going to be further ground incursions into the Gaza Strip. But what was fascinating while we were there, seeing all the extreme violence taking place, the horrors and the daily rocket attacks that we endured even in central Israel, was how many British, Israelis and Britons we met out there were looking back at events in London and across the UK and thinking, do you know what, I'd rather be here. Because in Israel, I have an Iron Dome missile defence system to keep me safe. But they saw people protesting in a very violent manner in the UK, saw some of the comments and chants being made and the reports of rocketing and anti-Semitic incidents, and they're very concerned. Well, since I got back on Sunday night, I've spent quite a lot of time looking into the problems at home, because this is a war that's going on in Britain too. I've been watching plenty of footage released, often very quietly, by many mosques across the country. This isn't just in London, throughout Britain. And here's some of what I've had to recover. Let's have a watch now.
When the criminal Jews, they escalate the aggression against our Muslim brothers and sisters in Palestine.
Intervene, intervene. Stop the ethnic cleansing of Ahlu Gaza and Palestine. Intervene. Speech, don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear no speech. Intervene and stop the genocide of Palestinian Muslims.
It's like a rapist saying that he's the victim. It's like someone coming into your house, telling you can live in the cellar, locking you up in the cellar, and you decided one day I'm going to fight back. And you scratched him on his face.
The Jews will fight you and you will prevail over them. Then a rock will say, "Oh Muslim, here is a Jew behind me, kill him."
Well, that's damning footage. It's important that we understand the scale of anti-Semitic hate in this country on British soil.
Yeah, it is rocketing up. Hundreds of incidents reporting. The Met today announcing a significant rise. They did an operational brief on the work they're doing. They're looking for more information from the public. But also there's work for journalists to do here, to look into these speeches and actually to have the bravery to report on the violence that's happening in England as well as in Israel. I mean, so let's just go through the comments we just heard. Okay, first and foremost, describing the criminal Jews. That was a mosque in Swansea, in South Wales, calling on Muslim armies to invade Israel, calling for a direct escalation from Arab armies in the region. That's extreme statements, especially in a religious sermon. And then, further comments there, quoting from scripture, kill a Jew, something like that. It's such an extreme thing to say, even in the context that he was giving it from scripture. Really damning and I would say quite evil commentary to report on and to watch. And I can understand why so many British Israelis that we met in Israel, the GB News team, said, what's it like at home? That's what they wanted to know. What's going on in London? Because we're here because we've moved here, or we're here to serve in the army. And we're very, very nervous about what they're seeing back home. And when you see that kind of footage, you can understand why. Well,
indeed. I mean, these figures, these are not just sort of lonely nutters tweeting from their mother's bedroom. These are influential faith leaders in this country, people with status, people with authority, and, of course, people with a platform. Have they had anything to say?
So I've sent off dozens of emails over the last few days looking for responses from many of these mosques. And I should just say that's just a snippet of the information that we've got, and further reporting will come on this in the next few days online and on the channel. Most of the mosques have said that they are going to investigate. Some of them have said that those speakers were not full-time employees, but also plenty have responded by standing by their comments, especially saying, we won't condemn the Hamas terrorists unless you also condemn Israel. So quite a strong and strident stance defending what they're seeing. I think it has erupted extreme differences and extreme opposition in our own country. And it's, I think it's quite concerning to see these things take place at home as well as in Israel.
Charlie, can I salute you for your coverage of the conflict in Israel? Very, very hard time and very, very difficult conditions in which to report, but you did so with such distinction, as has Mark White, and also this important expose, of which I think there's more to come this weekend. Is that right?
That's right, more to come. I mean, we'll be releasing more footage and more responses and over 3,000 words of quotes to come on this story, and which is I think, well, the police have been contacted, the charity commission have been contacted. Just one final thing to say, some of these mosques are registered charities. Some of them have received hundreds of thousands of pounds in government grants. The charity commission is taking a look. I've sent on all the information to the Metropolitan Police, who of course have counter-terrorism duties for across the entire country. We'll see what they say.
More groundbreaking journalism courtesy of Charlie Peters, GB News correspondent.